All right, welcome to the City Council Finance Committee meeting of Thursday, October 21st, 2021. There are 3 items on the agenda. The first one, discussion regarding the budget shortfall in the development center portion of the municipal complex renovations project. Mr. Francisco, take it away.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Council was previously briefed on the, I'm going to call it a cost overrun, in the Development Center project remodeling the former Central Library building into the new Development Center. And asbestos was identified in the building as the demolition and construction of the building was well underway. And Brenda and the project managers did some really quick work to estimate how much it would cost to remediate that asbestos problem. The number that we have been working with is about $950,000, which was obviously not part of the project budget. So we went looking for where we might identify some funds to cover that overrun. And what you have before you is a rather hastily prepared memo of possible sources that we might take some or all of those funds from. Basically, the exercise that we did here was very similar to what we did when we were looking for funds for the transit and fire maintenance facility, where we just looked for projects that funds had been allocated to that had gone unused for a long period of time, or projects that we knew had actually been completed, but that had not been closed out and funds returned to the fund balance yet. So you see the list of projects that you see, fire administration project, the fire repair trench project, the animal welfare carport project. Most of those have been completed. Building C restroom renovation has been completed. The building roofs are an ongoing project that we just think we can move some money around.
Which ones have been completed, did you say?
The first 4, basically.
Those have been completed. So that money's, how are we're saving money, or we've already spent that?
We've already spent it. Okay. Yeah, the total amount that was originally allocated for those projects was a lot more. Okay. This is just kind of what's
The remaining balance.
Oh, I see, okay. Gotcha.
The South Lake Park improvements, we hope that we will be able to complete that with Norman Forward funds. This is capital fund allocations that were made. And also we're having some problems with getting access and getting deed to the actual property. So that project is at best delayed. And hopefully some funds will be available from some other sources. The next 2 projects you actually saw previously, and you reallocated some of the funds for those 2 projects that have either been funding identified for the alley repair from future year budgets, and for the I-35 corridor study project came from the state actually paying for that entire study. So that's the remaining funds in those 2 projects. And then the street striping project, this is about 1/3 of the funds that is allocated to that project. And we're just basically proposing that we would use whatever is remaining to be needed from that project. $950,000
Thank you.
Is-
Sorry I'm late.
is our latest estimate on the total amount. When we actually come forward with an agenda item for council, we hope to have at least an updated, if not final, estimate on what those costs will be, where we would actually ask you to consider moving the funds from these projects to that project. So again, it's open for your discussion at this point. This is just subject to change, but this is the best areas that we have identified so far.
Councilmember Holman.
Okay, so just so I understand, these are not, we're not cutting these projects. This is money that's in these accounts of.
Let's see, I think there's none of these projects would be cut. South Lake Park would be.
There's either
the
another
capital
funding
fund,
source
yeah.
or okay. Just want to make sure, like the I-35 corridor study, that doesn't interfere with our commitment to the other cities that are.
No, sir, it's just paid for from by the state.
Okay.
Great. Okay.
Would ARPA funds be available for any of the shortcomings if we needed it?
No,
No, it wouldn't qualify.
no, we've already,
Try.
we squeezed that turnip already.
Oh, okay.
Tried.
Darn.
Tried to spend that money 20
Could
times over.
okay, so if we took from anything, would then ARPA cover those things that we took from?
Highly unlikely.
No?
The things that we have identified and recommended to the council that were eligible for ARPA funds are different from these areas. You know, we're kind of taking from city facility projects that are either complete or funds that are available from other sources. And generally speaking, ARPA funds are not eligible for those sorts of things.
Okay.
ARPA funds are more for COVID-related things
Sure.
or for those designated areas of infrastructure, streets.
Sure.
It'd be nice if there was a
So
national remediation fund for this.
Yeah,
type of,
for
like,
asbestos.
this old thing that was approved by the government. And
Yeah.
Now it's harmful.
Councilmember Hall, do you have a comment?
well, I apologize for being late, so you may have already addressed this, but so the alley repair, that's just left over.
Yes, ma'am. Notice that that's alley repair
Fiscal
from
year
fiscal year 2019. So council has allocated funds for alley repair in each fiscal year.
Right.
So there's already funds that are left over from fiscal year 2020. There's leftover funds from fiscal year 2021. And there are alley repair funds that have been allocated in fiscal year 22.
Okay.
So there's
So, yeah, because obviously it's a long list. So I understand what you're saying. So that was from fiscal year 2019. So we still have some carryover from the previous 2 years. Okay. Okay. Just trying to understand.
Councilmember Holman?
Yeah, about the alley repair. That's the only one, because there are some previous years where the council did have to cut alley repair completely, right? And so I'm a little hesitant to, because even though this may be left over from 2019, because that program is behind, maybe if there was somewhere else we could look for 106,000. I don't know if Sean would have any opinion about the alley repair program.
But
Seems like
again,
we're perpetually
I'm sorry,
behind
yes,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
And I will tell you that, you know, just know that this is almost $1 million we weren't counting on having to
Right.
spend.
Right.
So it's not as if you can find $1 million without giving
Right.
out something that
Right, exactly.
that is needed. I mean, you know, so.
And I'm definitely willing to support that amount for this, but you know,
Thank you, Councilor. Again, we're happy to do our part here. As Councilor Hall said, there's never enough. There's always other candidates for alley. Let me explain. These alley repair projects are taking gravel alleys and paving them, basically. They tend to be in the core area, Norman, commercial, downtown area, and we did get a little behind, so staffing shortages and so on. So there's plenty, if you want to do alley repair, and we do too, that's what we would use these funds for if they weren't cut. The same applies to striping. We never do enough striping. Our citizens always want fresher stripes and, you know, better intersections and so on. And we're just now preparing that contract. We are behind on it too, but I guarantee we can do 267,000 in striping and like that. So we work with our finance partners to you know, sort of look at all these, and if you do these cuts here in those two areas, there will still be money left over in those areas to do projects.
So
You're not cutting the whole program.
Yeah, the projects are ongoing. It's just the
Right.
list is
Yep.
longer,
Exactly.
Yeah.
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
it's just on that specific one. I was just thinking back to the years where the council had cut the funding for alley repair.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple times. I can't recall exactly, but that, you know. So
So,
I'm okay with.
yeah, I mean,
I think.
Yeah.
makes me quiver just a little bit. However,
We're getting there.
Yeah.
I know, to even get to this point with this list, I know that every department head has had to
Oh, they're still
weigh-
kicking and screaming. Don't Don't,
Sean cried all the way over.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. It's tough to have these unexpected, you know, projects that we have to address. I mean, we have no choice. But I'm just, you know, cost to benefit, and, you know, I'm assuming that of all of the places, Mr. O'Leary, that you could contribute from your department, you're the most comfortable with the two that were chosen.
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
that safe to say?
We are.
Okay.
We also mentioned, in working with Jacob, we also have a project, sidewalk project at Acre Street that we're closing out literally this week.
Uh-huh.
That's a project next to something, we were able to save about $160,000 on that
That's
project.
good.
So
Okay.
we'd love to move that in here and save some of those striping funds if we can, but
Yeah.
that's up to you all.
Sure.
Okay. Because, I mean, obviously, we want to take care of this building so that it stands the test of time and
Right.
tough choices.
Yes.
If those savings are realized, I would definitely prefer that we save the alley repair fund, given the fact that we've cut it, the previous
and-
councils have cut
I
it.
understand there's still like $350,000 in the alley repair
Sure,
fund.
sure.
This is 3 years ago money.
Right, I just think we need to beef up the alley repair probably, and then the the remainder, if we can get those savings, remainder to the street striping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fund.
That'd be good.
I'm with
And
you.
then I'm good with this. If we don't get the savings, I'm good with this too, so I think so.
Just keep bleeding that turnip.
Yeah.
I know. I know. Hopefully we don't find anything else that we need to,
I know.
to figure out either. Okay, no further discussion. We'll move on to item 2. Discussion regarding the monthly revenue and expenditures report. Mr. Francisco?
No real news to report, just to reiterate what we've talked about for the last few months, which is that our sales tax and overall budget picture is actually really good, relatively speaking.
Go ahead, say that one more time.
Yeah.
Yes, I can hardly form my lips, but no, we're hanging in there really well. Most of the major areas of revenue are well above budget and well above last year, except, of course, we'd be remiss if Rhonda was here to not point out that fines and forfeitures are well below budget, and yeah, good news or bad news. But other than that, we're doing quite well, and that's a good thing to report.
Good. Well, that means people are doing the right thing, maybe.
It's good news.
Let's go with that.
Yeah. Great.
All right, no further discussion. We'll move to item 3. Submission of the open positions report. Ms. Hicks.
And I don't know if Galen's here.
See your comment.
I've hired an accountant.
Yay!
I can report on that one.
Awesome.
But I just know that there are a lot of unfilled positions that we're recruiting for or attempting to hire. I know that council had the discussion last study session about this upcoming police academy that we're recruiting for, and the potential overfilling of 9 additional positions in that one. So that'll be a recruiting challenge. But just, if that's council's direction, we'll do the best that we can to, I guess it would be about 17 total that we'd be trying to fill.
Barbara Holman?
I definitely agree with the chief's assessment or request that our attempt to get those recruits be in pay somehow and not some sort of incentive.
Right.
One-time deal like some of the other cities are doing. So I don't know how to go about that, but
Well,
I
just-
agree that
just
that's
know
the
that
best way forward is to.
The pay scale is set through negotiations.
Right.
Yeah,
And-
sure.
And that's really,
Right, with the FFP. One thing that
That hasn't been resolved yet, correct?
I
I
don't
don't
believe
think there's
so.
a contract for this year yet.
So what do we have to do to say, well, we want, if the council said we want Norman Police Department to be the best paid in the metro area, is that out of our control, or are we able?
It's not out of your control to make that sort of a policy statement, but the actual negotiations are out of council's purview.
Yeah.
and-
So that's
and I'll be very,
That's between the FOP and the.
Our mediator, whoever that would be.
Okay, so what do we say to
Well,
folks
so-
that say
What I want
police
to
need to be paid
do,
more, what is the council gonna do about
what
it?
I want to do and what I've talked to City Manager Pyle about is because, I used to do this for a living. I want to do a public safety survey, population,
Right.
geographic size, income versus that, all sorts of stuff. I think that would be something that I would want to put forth so we can assess that. I know that the chief has needs. If they're not being met, then we want to know what we have, how we're doing it, how we compare, and what we need. So that way we can justify positions if we need to increase or what it is that we need to do. So I think that's the first
Those
step.
market surveys are done on an ongoing basis by
Right.
the HR department for negotiations. I don't know if that's public information or not, but I do know that information is gathered on an ongoing basis, comparing us to not just the metro area, but to comparably sized cities
Right.
in surrounding states.
Are you wanting, in addition to just salary and cost of living, also department needs and?
Right,
those
exactly.
benchmarks,
And how
staffing
big we
factors?
are, our response times. So I know that that's done, and I would like a third party. I know that we have, I think, a professor at OU who was looking at statistics, but I would prefer some like third party that's very neutral that we could bring in and try to figure that out to move forward. That would be my proposal. So see what we can do. All right. Any other questions, concerns, thoughts? All right. This meeting's adjourned. There's
All
my,
right,
my gavel.
Councilmember Foreman.
What a meeting.